Okay, part two. So like I say, forget about everything that you've been taught before, and forget about everything that you've been told in the media, and forget whatever the politicians say, and forget whatever the energy commercials say. And think for yourself for once. Think. You know, I think the vast majority of the people around the whole world are just, ignorance is bliss, you know? But I think they're starting to find out that ignorance can be a real pain in the ass also. So let's start from a fresh, clean slate and forget about the technologies of yesterday's, and let's look at what we have to work with today. Because what we have today is game changers, you know? And nobody's going to give you the truth if they have some kind of conflict of interest. The president definitely has conflicts of interest. And when I hear him saying we need to build new nuclear plants, or we have to do exploration for offshore drilling, I know that he's being disingenuous. When we see technologies like Bloom Energy, it's so simple. And so when the president gets up there and says we need nuclear power plants, there's only one of two possibilities going on there. Either one, he is lying, or two, he is incompetent and doesn't realize what is really going on. And either way, either one of those choices is not very good for him. Why would you go through the effort of building these huge nuclear reactors and get all of the side effects from it, all of the wonders of nuclear radiation, nuclear waste, depleted uranium, terrorism with dirty bombs, weapons? Why would we want to do those things when there's better, simpler, easier ways to do it? If our government was really doing the people's work, we wouldn't need government for very long. We would have self-governance, where the people govern themselves. The way I see it is a very simple way of seeing it, and I think that could catch on to the people across this country and across the world because it's simpler, it's easier, it's common sense. If we were serious about a real energy policy that worked for the people, the president would get up in front of the TV and say, I'm closing every single coal mine tomorrow. End of story. No more coal. Because it's an outdated, broken system. And as we see people, all the lobbyists and everything, just going up there and bribing the politicians, I would describe it as, say, for a musical device, 8 tracks or something. Remember old 8 tracks from back in the day? It would be like somebody saying, no, we have to keep on using 8 tracks because that's what we've used and it works and we have to keep on using 8 tracks. When there would be a clear, simpler, better way of doing things like our MP3 players today. Or even CD players, you know, where you can at least skip to the next track and not have to play the whole goddamn 8-track. It's common sense, it's cheaper, it's better all around. And think of the money spent on these outdated systems. All we have to do is say, stop the bullshit. You're not fooling anybody anymore. We know why your energy policy is the way it is. If you are paying for energy, you are working for it, not the energy working for you. It's common sense, it's simple. There will always be more energy in this universe than the people could ever dream of using. That's just common sense. You know, if you look at the size of Earth and compare it to the size of the sun, it's like a little speck. So anybody that tells you that there is no energy to be gained from solar power is just lying. They're just lying, period. So here's what we do. We know that Bloom fuel cells work. We know this for a fact. We know they can be combined with solar power. So, what do? You take the Bloom box and you put a solar power panel on it. And you might want to put some highly efficient storage batteries in there as well. Because, you know, there's always those people saying, oh, well, the sun can't be there all the time. Well, that's right. The sun can't be there all the time. But there's ways to take the energy when it is there and store it. And we are doing everything the ass backwards way. And John F. Kennedy said it best. We do things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. I guess that makes sense, because once you do it the hard way, then everything else is a piece of cake. So, what we should be doing is making every house equipped with these Bloom box energies that are made from sand and combined with oxygen to produce hydrogen and electricity. It's so simple. It's common sense. And so all of this drilling for oil, for coal, and nuclear energy, even the wind turbines, it's a waste of time and energy. You don't need to do all that. You can't tell me that there isn't better and easier ways to do it. Why are we going to keep on doing coal? It's a shitty... Why would you want to work in coal? It's a shitty work environment. I'm sure that you get coal dust, and to top it all off, you have the chance of getting blown the hell up. Or maybe you'll just suffocate to death. And so when they say, we'll make sure that this will never happen again, they are lying to you, because they keep on continuing the failed energy policies that they currently have. The only way to make sure that these realities don't come into existence is to make sure that the possibility doesn't exist for those realities to happen in the first place by not doing it. I'm going to put a link to the Bloom Energies, and you can see the scientists say, hey, yes, solar power does work with these. So how many more dead miners do we need to have?